How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. And tonight we're going to be reviewing a beer I've had quite a few times, but has surprised me in good and bad ways individually across all those times I've had them. And that is Sammy Smith's Yorkshire Stingo, which is like a strong English ale, old ale, aged beer. I've had this a couple times before. And sometimes it's stellar. Sometimes it's kind of mediocre. There's different dates on aging. This is a 2008 bottle. I've had 2008s. I've had 2012s. The 8s have usually outshined the 12s because we all know age makes beer better, or good beer better. And just something about it. I don't know if it's how it's cellared or how it's been handled. I don't know, but sometimes it like blows my doors off, and sometimes it's just mediocre at best. Never bad, but just kind of like uninspiring. So hopefully we see what this one does. I have really high hopes for this one. I just pulled 2 bottles of this from a local restaurant who had them for a relatively good price. And this particular bottle had mold all over it. When I get home, there's mold all over it. And typically you'd be like, mold, that's disgusting. Oh, what are you going to do? But for some reason, I think if there's mold all over it, it's going to be a good beer. I don't know. Call me crazy. Anyway, Sammy Smith's Yorkshire Stingo. Like I said, it's their old ale, old strong English ale beer from Sammy Smith's. Label-wise, or what it says on the bottle, it says Sam Smith's Tadcaster Yorkshire Stingo. Bottle conditioned ale, product of the UK. Aged in oak ale casks, matured for over a year. It's kind of generic, so who knows what's what. And it says the name Samuel Smith is a guarantee of excellence and purity. Fermented in stone Yorkshire squares at Yorkshire's oldest brewery. I have a kind of a soft spot in my heart for, Sammy Smith, just from, the whole Michael Jackson beer hunter thing. Anyway, let's see what else we got here on the back. A lot of information. Sammy Smith's Yorkshire Stingo, 8% alcohol. Some of the oak casks at Samuel Smith's date back more than a century, with the individual staves being replaced by old brewery coopers over the years. Gradually, the casks soak in more and more of the character of the ale fermented in the stone Yorkshire squares. Yorkshire Stingo is aged for at least a year, matured in these well-used oak casks, the brewery's underground cellars, deriving fruit, raisin, terracotta, toffee, Christmas pudding, and slight oaky flavors. Christmas pudding. Before being further naturally conditioned in a bottle. Allow time for yeast to settle before opening, then pouring gently. I don't remember much bottle conditioning being in here, but then it says oak. There's a picture of oak casks. There's the oak casks in underground cellars at Samuel Smith's small independent brewery, and over here is guys stirring around some nice fermentation. Rousing during fermentation in stone Yorkshire squares to redistribute the flocculent old brewery yeast strain. And that's pretty much it. Always been a fan of Sammy Smith's presentation as far as labeling, foil top, the whole nine. Something about it just does it for me. Just dig it, It's a nice bottle. Always like that they come in big bottles like this. Well, mostly they have smaller ones too, but typically you come in a big bottle, Something about them. Just like how it looks. Anyway, let's see what we got going on here. Just checking. No mold in the cap. No mold in the rim. It was like an outer mold. Like it looks like something got spilled on the individual bottle. I got 2 bottles. The one bottle had a mold on it, so it looked like it was just a spill. So we'll see. That's the color I like there, buddy. Definitely looks pretty sexified as far as color goes. Head-wise, just a bit over a finger. Beige head. Maybe even a hair darker. It smells great from here. Not super murky, dense body to it, but it has some little bit of density to it. A little bit of carbonation is like somewhere between a orange and rubyish color. Looks quite nice, color-wise. Yeah, looks like a pretty nice beer. Nose wise, it smells like the tiniest bit of oxidation there, but I mean, other than that, it's just malts, dark fruits, a little bit of breadiness, and a little bit of booziness. Caramel's there. A nice sugary toffee. Yeah, don't. I can actually see the Christmas pudding part from before. I could see them getting that from there, even nose wise. It's kind of interesting. I mean, it's caramel and malts and maybe a little bit of raisin, dark fruits, and it reminds me of a nice pudding. So it smells quite good. So let's see what she has to taste. This is a good bottle. You can just taste it right off the bat. It's not super in your face, but it's just so good. Got this nice caramelly toffee. Nice richness to it. You know, no booze in the taste. A bit of booze on the nose, but nothing taste wise. Super smooth, nice creamy density to it. Not too thick, but super inviting. That's just a good beer, and that's the thing. Like I said, I've had this before. I've had ones taste like this before, and I've had ones taste not as good as this. And it typically is an age thing. I mean, the ones that I had weren't as stellar. Were newer bottles, or 2012 bottles. This is a 2008 bottle. And it was funny because I went to it's a local restaurant here. It's a little seafood house. They had some beers that I wanted to pick up, so I went by there and told her what I wanted. And they said, "Oh, Yorkshire Stingo." And every time I go in there, I'm like, "Oh, can you check the dates for me?" I'm like, if it's 2012, I don't want any. If it's 2008, I'll take a couple of them. And she's like, it's 2008. I'm like, give me two. Now, if I have this one, I have another one. If I crack the other one sooner rather than later and it tastes like this, I'll probably go back and get quite a few more of them. They're decent, reasonably priced. At a restaurant, a seafood restaurant, something like this. What were we talking ounce-wise on this? Decent bit over a pint, 1 pint, 2.7 fluid ounces on top. About $8. I mean, that's a winner right there. But as far as taste-wise, this toffee, caramel, raisin, just really, really, really nice beer. I mean, none of those are over the top, punch in the face, but they're heightened enough to the point where it's super enjoyable. And like I said, body-wise, it's a nice, decent creaminess to it. And again, nothing over the top, nothing super dense, but definitely not thinned by anybody's imagination. That's a good beer. That is a good beer. Rating-wise, this particular bottle, 2008, that tastes like this, I'm going to give this like a 92, 93. It's that good of a beer. I mean, again, there's probably been 2012s, which I would rate an 85. And I think I had one, maybe two 2008s that were in the mid 80s too. So it's very inconsistent. So it's a weird thing to rate because I know I've had it before, and some have been lower, some have been higher. But this one's a winner. So you're talking about mid-low 90s, so 93-ish. Value-wise, $8 for a decent bit over a pint. To me, that's a home run, especially for a beer that tastes like this. So I would give it an 8 on a value scale. And as far as availability, I could typically get it, but when I get it, I'm not sure which date I'm getting. So availability-wise, I'll also give it like maybe a higher grade, like a 6 or a 7. Can't find it everywhere, but where I can find it, I can find it. But the older bottles are a little bit more scarce. So yeah, 93, 8, and like around a 7-ish when it comes to overall value and availability. Yeah, just a really good beer. Especially if it's aged the right way and handled the right way. And like I said, this one had mold all over it that I had to wash off because I didn't really even want to touch it. So if you find one of these with mold all over it, definitely pick it up. If you're a fan of old ales, Tom's Hardy, J.W. Lee's, North Coast Old Stock, might definitely be something you want to check out, especially an older age bottle. And if you're just about good beers in general, if you like your, your English style beers with toffee and caramel and stuff like that, definitely check the sucker out. Sammy Smith's Yorkshire Stingo, really good beer, especially this year in this version. Another review in the books. Matt with Massive Beer Reviews. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. If you enjoyed it, hated it, anything else somewhere in between, please leave a comment in the comment section below. If you'd like to try other kind of beers or whatever, tell us. If you like, check us out anywhere else on the internet. You can on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Massive Beers. We're infinitely more active on Instagram than we are everywhere else. I mean, we post everywhere else, but Instagram gets all our updates, all review previews, beers we're drinking, not reviewing, and contests and all that fun stuff. So definitely check us out there at Massive Beers. And yeah, another review down. So hopefully you enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a great beer like this. And hopefully you see you next time. Cheers.